Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My dear cadets of class 7, I welcome you all in my today's online class. Dear cadets, in this pandemic situation, I hope you are safe and sound at your sweet home with your parents and family members. Dear cadets, a request to you, if you feel any sick or illness, please report to the nearest CMH without any delay. And side by side, inform your physical condition to the college authority detailed. Cadets, because of unavoidable circumstances, I am unable to impart my lesson in classroom before you. So, college authority has arranged online class for you. Now I am going to impart my lesson. Dear cadets, now Corona awareness speech. I am giving you some advice about the coronavirus or COVID-19. First, wash hands. Wash your hands with soap or use hand sanitizer. Secondly, cover a cough or sneeze. Cover your cough or sneeze with your sleeves or tissue. Then dispose the tissue and wash hands. Thirdly, social distancing. Keep a distance of around 1 meter away from others in public. Third and final, stay at home. Always stay home unless you have an important reason to leave the house. Dear cadets, now my introduction. I am Muhammad Ruhul Amin Mukhtar, Assistant Professor, Political Science. Today's subject is Bangladesh and Global Studies Civics Part. Chapter 5, chapter title Bangladesh and Citizen of Bangladesh. My dear cadets, today's topic is citizen and attributes of good citizen, barriers of being a good citizen and measures of removing the barriers to becoming good citizen. My dear cadets, now learning outcomes of today's lesson. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to know the meaning of citizen. Then you will be able to define the citizen and good citizen. You will be able to describe the attributes of a good citizen. Then you can explain the obstacles on the way to become a good citizen. Finally, you will be able to know the measures of removing the barriers to become good citizen. Dear cadets, now introduction of today's lesson. One of the main prerequisites to form a state is the mass people. The mass people of the state are considered as a citizen. Person who is entitled to enjoy all the legal rights and privileges granted by state to the people comprising its constituency and is obliged to obey its laws and to fulfill his or her duties. Creates the failure and success of a state depends on the sense of duty and responsibility of the citizen. Dear cadets, now few keywords. I have chosen these keywords which are very connected with today's topic. If you know the meaning of these words, it will help you to understand today's lesson very clearly. Dear cadets, first one is attribute, then nepotism, then abstain, then partisan, then fanaticism, and finally pompousness. Dear cadets, attributes is a quality or feature regarded as a characteristics or inherent part of the someone or something which is known as attribute. Cadets, nepotism is the practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives or friends, especially by giving them jobs. It is very negative characteristics of any leader or individual. Next one is abstain. Abstain means restrain or refrain oneself from doing or enjoying something. Then partisan. Dear cadets, partisan is a strong supporter of a particular party, cause or person who is always biased. Then fanaticism. Fanaticism is the quality of being fanatical, especially in religious idea or ideology. Finally, pompousness. Pompousness is an exaggerated sense of one's importance that shows itself in the making of excessive or unjustified claims. Dear cadets, now meaning of citizen. The word citizen derived from Latin word civics. Usually, by the word citizen is meant the inhabitant who reside in the city. Now, definition of citizen. Dear cadets, Aristotle says, he who takes an active part in the administration of city-state is a citizen. Cadets, keep in mind, now state means nation-state. So in absence of city-state, this definition has less practical application. Next, Professor Lasky says, he who enjoys facilities from the state and owes allegiance to the state is called citizen. At present, the application and implication of this definition is found all over the world. Now, definition of good citizen. Dear cadets, development of a nation largely depends on the qualification and skills of its citizen. A good citizen is someone who respects others and their property. He or she is helpful and considerate, willing to put others first. He or she listens to the views of others and thinks about what they have to say. A good citizen is he or she helps people who are not in a position to help them. Grace. A good citizen must live in peace and harmony with his neighbors and fellow citizens. He must respect the institutions of his country. Lastly, a good citizen must always respect the laws of the state and should have no patience with the criminals and antisocial elements. He must be vigilant against the enemies of the country. Creates now attributes of a good citizen. Each and every country needs good citizen for its proper and expected development. As no one is good citizen by birth, so it should achieve. There are some attributes of a good citizen by which a citizen grows up to become a good citizen. According to the political scientist, a good citizen has to qualify 3 attributes to become good. Attributes are intelligence, then self-control, and then consciousness. Creates now intelligence. An intelligent citizen is a resource for any nation. Only an intelligent can play his or her role properly. Intelligence is the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. It is defined as general cognitive problem-solving skills. A mental ability involved in reasoning, perceiving relationships and analysis, calculating, learning quickly, etc. Some psychologists have been defined the intelligence in many ways, such as the capacity for logic, understanding, self-awareness, learning, emotional knowledge, reasoning, planning, creativity, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills, etc. Next one is self-control. Dear kids, a good citizen should have this very attitude. This attitude keeps him away from dishonest activities such as corruption, nepotism, selfishness, and partiality. Self-control helps a citizen to abstain from injustice and partisanship and works for the betterment of the country. Traits. Self-control is the ability to regulate one's emotions, thoughts, and behavior in the face of temptation and impulses. As an executive function, self-control is a cognitive process that is necessary for regulating one's behavior in order to achieve specific goals. It creates now consciousness. Conscience is the ever-awaking spirit of a good citizen. This attitude helps a citizen to sense of good and bad. It is also required to solve the socio-economic and political problems of the nation. Today's consciousness is the quality of wishing to do one's work or duty well and thoroughly. Consciousness is about how a person controls, regulates, and directs his impulses. Individuals with high level of consciousness on a career test are good at formulating long-range goals, organizing and planning routes to these goals, and working consistently to achieve them. My dear kids, now other attributes of being good citizen. Among the other attributes, first one is awareness on administrative system. And it creates a good citizen should be aware about administration of the state. He or she should be very cautious and conscious about the duties and responsibilities of the administrators as well as administrative offices and authorities. Next one is protesting injustice. Having protesting mentality of a citizen is must to establish the rule of law in the society. If injustice is tolerated by the citizen, then lawlessness and anarchy will spread all over the society and the life of the citizen will become full of hell. Dear cadets, next one is abide by laws. Obeying the law sets a social standard that if laws are made, citizens and government will generally respect them. If nobody obeys the laws, then they are meaningless. Therefore, the participation in obeying laws helps confirm to society that the laws are valid. A law-abiding person always obeys the law and is considered to be good and honest because of this quality. Next one is confident. Creates feeling or showing confidence in oneself or one's abilities or qualities. Confidence means feeling sure of oneself and one's abilities, not in an arrogant way, but in a realistic and secure way. Creates confidence isn't about feeling superior to others. It's a quiet inner knowledge that you are capable. Confident people always feel ready for everyday challenges like tests, performances, and competitions. Dear cadets, next and final, dedicated. Dedication is a feeling of every strong support for or loyalty to someone or something. Dedication is the quality or state of being dedicated to a person, group, cause, etc. Dear creators, the quality of being dedicated or committed to a task or purpose is virtue. Dedication is a passion. It is to be excited about what one is doing. One must feel that rush if they are really dedicated of doing something. If there is no rush, then there is no motivation to dedicate oneself to it. My dear cadets, now barriers of being a good citizen. Becoming a good citizen is not that easy, for the quality of a good citizen is influenced by the family, society as well as state. Different types of problems are influence the growth of a good citizen as obstacle. Now, one by one barriers I am going to discuss before you. First one is indifference. Indifference means lack of interest or concern. A general disinterestedness on the part of a populace is called indifference. The quality is not caring about being interested in something or someone. It is an effect of various reasons like illiteracy, lack of proper education, idleness, poverty, and negation to responsibility. Next one is self-interest. Today's, this is a great barrier on the way to become a good citizen. When one's personal interest or advantage, especially when pursued without regard for others, it is the self-interest. This type of negative quality leads a citizen to corruption, nepotism, and partiality. Citizen partisan-oriented appoints their own relatives in jobs, avoiding the qualified candidates, and also involved in nepotism and financial irregularities. Immediate careers. Next, partisanship. Keep in mind, democratic system of government generally affects a kind of partisanship. This kind of attitude creates problem in becoming a good citizen. Partisan attitude forces him to criticize the good deeds of opponents and forsake them. Cadets, the quality or action of strongly supporting a person, principle, or political party, often without considering or judging the matters very carefully. Next one is ignorance and illiteracy. Cadets, ignorant and illiterate citizens do not know as well as understand many things. Illiterate cannot fulfill the demands of the state over them. Cadets, ignorance and illiteracy is the condition of being ununiformed or uneducated, lack of knowledge or information. When it creates, next one is fanaticism. Fanaticism obstructs to be good citizen. Extreme beliefs, attitude forces an individual to hate other religion. This type of nature spoils the national integrity, development, and advancement, as well as it may lead to unreasonable or violent behavior. Next one is pompousness. This is very negative character in a human being. Pompousness means having or showing an attitude of someone who thinks he or she is better than other people. He or she do not consider opinion of others. Today's next one is sectarianism. Sectarianism means excessive attachment to a particular section or party, especially in religion. This nature spoils the religious harmony among people and gives birth to sectarian attitude. My dear kids, now final one is economic disadvantage. Kids, keep in mind, ours is a developing country. About 50% of our population lives below the poverty or poverty line. In most of the cases, the poor people cannot flourish them as a good citizen, where they are in heavily pressure to meet up daily or basic needs. Their conscience also is not that much effective. Dear kids, now measures of removing the barriers to becoming good citizen. First one is patriotism. Patriotism is the quality of being patriotic, devotion to and vigorous support for one's country. Patriotism or national pride is the feeling of love, devotion, and sense of attachment to a homeland. Dear kids, this type of attachment can be a combination of many different feelings relating to one's own homeland, including ethnic, cultural, political, or historical aspects. Dear kids, next one is free from self-interest. This is another quality to remove the barrier of becoming good citizen. Self-interest always influences the person to ignore others' interest. When person can sacrifice his self-interest, then the deprivation will be wither out from the society. This type of attitude very easily convert a selfish mentality to the sacrifice for others. Thus, he becomes a good citizen. Kids, next one is free from partisan attitude. Partisan attitude deprive the quality members of the other parties. Deprivation creates hindrances in the path of becoming a good citizen. So, if the party or political culture is established in the norm of partisan free, then this attitude will create the environment of growing good citizens. My dear kids, next one is universal treatment. One has to treat everyone equally irrespective of religion, caste, clan, etc. If every citizen is treated equally, in terms of facilities, then citizen will be satisfied on the treatment, the state as well as society. Cadets, it will help the citizen becoming good one. Minute cadets, next one is free from behavioral mannerism. Mannerism is the manifestation of habit, gesture, art, literature, speech or behavior in a peculiar manner. One has to avoid this type of attitude, only then he will be treated in the society as a good citizen. My dear cadets, final one is equality. Equality is about ensuring that every individual has an equal opportunity to make the most of their lives and talents. It is the state of being equal, especially in status, rights, or opportunities. Equal treatment to every citizen helps them to grow them as a good citizen. Dear cadets, so long we have learned about the citizen, attributes of good citizen, barriers of being good citizen. Now we can come in conclusion that a tree cannot grow properly without the fertilizer, soil, and proper care. Similarly, our country cannot run properly when its citizen doesn't have the qualities of a good citizen. So, future citizen must attain at these qualities. Then only we can establish our favorite motherland as a developed country in the world. Cadets, now home task. Connection with today's lesson or lecture, I have given you the home task is our socio-economic and political culture is how much helpful to develop a citizen as a good citizen. Put logics in favor of your views and ideas. Now, question answer session. My dear cadets, if you have any question and query, you can ask me in comment box or message box or inbox in written. After the lesson, I will give you answer also in same way, in written. My dear cadets, again, Corona awareness. Cadets, again, I am putting some advice to you about the coronavirus or COVID-19. Please follow those to keep you free from the risk of coronavirus. Wash your hands often with soap. Maintain the cough and sneezing etiquette. Maintain a safe distance from others, at least 1 meter. Wear mask when you go outside if necessary. Cadets, next lesson, I will impart my lesson, lecture Next, importance of good citizen in respect of socio-economic development of Bangladesh and achieving rights of citizen and being dutiful. My dear cadets, uploading date of assignment. July 2, 2020, 10 MCQ question will be uploaded as assignment or exam. Your submission date is from 1000 hours of 2nd July 2020 to 1600 hours of 3rd July 2020. It means that your submission time will be started from 1000 hours of 2nd July 2020 and it will be finished 1600 hours of 3rd July 2020. My dear cadets, that's all from my side. Convey my salam to your respected parents. Stay home, stay safe. If you feel any sickness, don't ignore, rather report to your nearest CMH immediately. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.